and gentlemen, welcome to the best way to spend $2,700. I mean, you can't beat this. Absolutely gorgeous summer evening. Little road along the lake. Five-speed manual in a convertible. Really hard to beat this. Hey, it's fun to push it, don't get me wrong, but even just cruising along, I mean, I'm out here and this is just beautiful. This thing is fun. My seatbelt's totally just disengaged right there. Probably ought to get that checked out and fixed. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1993 NA Miata. Looks like it just rolled off the production line. No flaws whatsoever. Well, what is there to say? So this is the 1.6 liter. Let me open this up. I'm gonna look under the hood at the problem that I've purchased for myself. This is the kind of problem you want, though. Oh, that's warm. So this is a 1.6 liter. This car has about 300,000 miles on it. So there are some things to be expected when you buy a car this old. It looks like it has a new radiator. Some of the hoses and stuff were replaced. There's some other hoses that I need to fix. There's a coolant hose right down here that is leaking. This is the thermostat bypass hose. I need to replace that. There's probably a couple other things that should be replaced as well along the way. It's pretty dirty. You can tell there's some things that need to be cleaned out. It smells terrible. There's a lot of oil down here that I'm going to go through and clean out at some point. And potentially find some leaks, you know, some things to be expected. But hey, can't complain when you spend $2,700. You can't expect it to be perfect. So it's got some dents here and there. Other things, I need to replace the front brakes. The interior's, not the greatest. I'm pretty sure this is somebody's daily driver. You can see this is all getting torn up. That's not ideal. The trunk actually was filled with mold when I first opened it up, so I had to clean that out. It's mostly fine now. There's a lot of things on this car. You'll notice when I get going in it that there is a pretty noticeable rattle that I believe is the heat shield on the exhaust, or some heat shield underneath this car, which is a pretty common problem on these cars, excuse me. And if it's not that, it's probably the power plant frame being slightly misaligned, also resulting from the motor mounts, which definitely need to be replaced. When I start it up and it's idling, you can see the motor kind of rocking back and forth. So it's got some things. It's got some things. The front brakes need to be replaced. I think I already said that. Lots of things aesthetically. I still need to baseline it, change all the fluids. But man, this thing is just a joy to drive. An absolute joy. Just to give you a little bit of context about what my background is with cars. Say hello to that Mercedes. Anyway, to give you a little bit of background on what my experience is with cars, let's make sure I can see before I do anything. Jeez. Okay, now we'll talk. I guess we'll let the car do the talking. It's just a gorgeous evening, guys. Oh my goodness. Here, I'll go off throttle and you can hear that rattle. Right about 3,700 RPMs, you'll hear it kind of right there. Yeah, there's some things. Okay, well anyway, I bought this car because I needed something that I could play around with it. I needed a project, I needed a little bit of a toy, and one that my wife would like and be happy with. She thinks these cars are stupid cute, by the way, which I will agree with that. These things are really, really cute, especially with these little pop-up headlights. They're super fun. But man, I'm all over the place. Anyway, I needed something with a manual transmission. I daily a 2013 Honda Civic. which is a fantastic daily. Don't get me wrong. That thing is just, it does everything you could want of it. It has plenty of space. It's got all the reliability you want, the comforts. I put a rear sway bar on it to hopefully get a little bit more exciting things to happen. And it helped. Like, it helped the car turn in quite a bit better. It helped reduce a lot of the understeer that I was experiencing. Still was getting a lot of body roll in the Civic. And the reason why I did that is a lot of the cars that I've grown up with. So I grew up in a really snowy area, a place in the mountains that gets over 300 inches of snow every year. And so a lot of the enjoyment that I have around cars let's go this way. Of the enjoyment that I have surrounding cars is playing around in the snow with them, you know, just doing donuts in a parking lot, experimenting with oversteer. As a kid, I grew up idolizing rally car drivers and rally cars in general, you know, all-wheel drive, hot hatches and things of that sort, that could tear up a mountain road that has, you know, a foot of snow on it, and the rear end would kick out on demand, and that was really what I enjoyed as a car enthusiast. And I never really had something that was quite like that. I had a 1996 Audi A4, which I believe came with it. So it was a 6-cylinder. I'll slow down a little bit. Actually, we'll go up this road. Anyway, it was a 6-cylinder, 1.8 liter. I think it was the B5 engine or something like that. Put out about 180 horsepower. And it was in this 1996 Audi A4 Quattro. And it had the 6-speed manual. 6-speed? Was it a 6-speed? I don't know, 5 or 6-speed. I can't quite remember. And that thing was a ton of fun in the snow. It was a ton of fun to roll through the gears. That's where I learned to drive a manual. And I miss that. I miss being able to shift my own gears. And I wanted to practice. Like, there were some things that I hadn't done in a while that I wanted to practice. I wanted to practice rev matching. I wanted to practice heel toe, which I'm very much still working on and trying to get used to. And I wanted something that could be kind of a project, a thing that I could take apart and really put the time and energy into to make it a great driver's car. And you know what they say, Miata is always the answer, right? So having never driven one myself, I've been poking around a little bit. I didn't want something that was too fast to start out, nor could I really afford something, if we're being honest, that was too fast. But I wanted something that I could practice certain things on. Oh my gosh, I'm blind. Okay, we can see a little bit better now. I wanted something that my wife could learn to drive manual on as well. Something that wasn't very intimidating, something kind of small, something kind of playful, which this very much is. I hadn't driven one of these before. Took this around and it was like, yeah, this is, you know, exactly what I've read about. This is this fits the bill. You know, that formula of rear-wheel drive, manual transmission, lightweight roadster, and this is the first convertible I've ever owned as well. And it's fun, man. It's slow. It really is slow. And the suspension is not super hardcore by any means. It rolls a ton in the corners, but I'm used to body roll. That's what my Civic does, especially when I'm really pushing it. But even the body roll is super fun as well. It's gonna be another Miata. Heck yeah. Same color and everything. Saying hello. Oh, so that's the other thing. Let me get off track again. That's the other thing that's really, really fun about these cars, man, is the amount of people, even just after I purchased this, driving it home, I had like 5 people wave at me. There's such a culture around these cars. Like I get lots of people waving, which I've never experienced before in a car. It's super fun. And not just like other Miatas on the street, but people I'm driving over bumps and potholes, but people in plenty of different types of cars. People in Infinitis, Nissans. I'm saying that like they're exciting cars, but some of their sports, so it's like 350Zs, whatever Infiniti convertible I saw the other day. There's a guy in a C5 Corvette wide body that was very nice. You know, that hit me with the pop-up headlights. And there's just something about it that makes you kind of feel whimsical. Foot to the floor. It just takes forever to get up to speed, man. It's awesome. Would I like a little more power? Probably not in this car. sorely tempted to try the ND Miata with 181 horsepower. I think that might be a pretty optimal level of power for a platform of this size, for a road car, let me say. I do hope to. I haven't driven a lot of cars. There's a lot of cars I want to drive, so I hope to get the chance to do so in the future. Because I don't know. So another one of my hobbies is skiing. I love to ski, and one thing that is super fun is to try a bunch of different pairs of skis, and just kind of see how they behave differently in different conditions. Right now I'm rocking some Ben Chetler 120s, and they're super playful, super fun, and wide. But sometimes, I don't know, you want something that's 100 millimeters underfoot, something that can, you know, lock in a little bit better. You know, something that you can carve lines on. And I feel like the same thing applies, well, to a lot of hobbies, but it very much applies to cars as well. You know, I like this convertible. I also kind of want a rally car. So there's some things that I would like to try. I just recently drove a Z3M coupe that has been gone over. Suspension's been redone. The chassis was stiffened. Been lowered and everything. And a really special car. I think it has like 250 horsepower or something like that. You know, it pulls. It's a ton of fun. It's something that you can't really test the limits of on a public road like this because of how it was set up. It was just so dialed in that I felt like I wasn't challenging the car in any way, shape, or form. The way this thing leans everywhere. I'm kind of already used to it because of my Civic, and when I really push that Civic, it leans everywhere. So much body roll, but it's a ton of fun in this. I really can't complain. Eventually I might switch the suspension out. I might go stiffer, sway bars, some other things, but I don't know, not a lot to complain about. Anyway, thanks for coming along for the ride, guys. I'm going to be doing more videos like this. And, yeah. I love driving. I love motion in general. I mean skiing and everything, but it's, to me, cars are not, I have no desire to own a car as a status symbol. I like cars that look beautiful, you know, but I just want something that I can drive, you know? And this fits the bill for me for $2,700. Anyway, I hope to get behind the wheel of some different cars, give you my impressions of, you know, different vehicles, and their enjoyment factor. And I hope you can accompany me for the journey of taking care of this little Miata. We're gonna try to take care of it as best as possible and hopefully restore it to what it might have looked like when it came off the production line. And we might do some other things here and there, but right now I'm pretty happy with the car stock. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well. Best wishes in all of your endeavors, and peace out.